Well, we have, both Shannon and I for months had talked about Prop 57 and how we thought it was a bad idea. But more than that, it was a dangerous idea. That even if you're looking towards some sort of criminal justice reform, that was not the way to do it. And it looks like we're getting more and more proof that we and other people who fought against it were absolutely correct. Michele Hanisee is president of the Association of Deputy DAs, the agency that represents 1,000 deputy DAs who work for the County of Los Angeles. You wrote a great piece, Michele, about why Prop 57, especially right now, is proving itself to be a very flawed attempt at criminal justice reform.
Well, the bad things that we predicted are absolutely coming true. So what can you say but we told you so, right?
Yeah. Explain what's going on. Explain this latest court ruling and what it means for people who are not sex offenders and not currently in prison.
Well, the proponents for sex offenders, and who knew that sex offenders had proponents, filed a lawsuit challenging the regulations enacted to implement Proposition 57. Now, 57 in its basic language said all nonviolent offenders were eligible for early release, but it never defined who those people were or weren't. So when the Department of Corrections, at the direction of the governor, excluded sex offenders, they sued, because you can't write into a regulation language that didn't exist in the law that was passed by the voters.
Was the argument that they were just trying to clarify the language and took it too far?
Well, I'm sure CDCR made that argument, but it was going to fail on its face because Prop 57 never mentioned any exclusion for sex offenders, and they can't write that into the law. You can't expand the law after the fact, and that's what they did. So the court is not making a ruling in favor of sex offenders. This court is just following existing law, saying you can't add stuff to a law by way of a regulation after the fact.
Well, this Prop 57 issue, in a general sense, plays into a story that we did last week. We talked with the DA from San Bernardino County, Mike Ramos, one of your compatriots there in the LA County DA's office, about the Board of Parole hearing. And just they seem intent on releasing some of the most dangerous people who are behind bars, releasing them back out into the public for some reason.
They do. It's the governor's agenda, and it seems to be the prison's agenda. You're like, it's your job to incarcerate people. Why are you letting them out? But it's this new trend of trying to save money by putting all the violent criminals back in our communities, and I don't see how that saves money because the cost to the community is going to be far, far higher than the cost to the state to incarcerate these people, especially, sadly, if and when people start getting murdered.
We're talking with Michele Hanisee, president of the Association of Deputy DAs. What can we do? Is this just a matter of you and other deputy DAs and other law enforcement agencies getting the word out so that we talk to the legislature?
Well, the funny thing is, DAs, there's nothing we can do. This is all post-conviction after the fact, and the sentences that we impose in court are now meaningless. Absolutely meaningless. But there is a ballot initiative that's being sponsored by some pro-law enforcement groups that people can sign. They're in the signature gathering stage right now. It's called the Reducing Crime and Keeping California Safe Act of 2018. So if you see them at your local grocery store trying to gather signatures, please sign it. And if you want to learn more, or if you want to gather signatures or donate to help pay for signature gathering, which is very costly, you can go to keepcaliforniasafe.org and order petitions there or make a donation there. And this would undo some of these unfortunate consequences by, among other things, defining who exactly is a violent offender and is not a violent offender for purposes of early release.
Can the language be changed now? I mean, if the judge made this ruling, can we still go through and amend what's been going on?
Well, yes and no. The only way to amend a ballot initiative's language is with another ballot initiative or potentially two-thirds votes of our legislature. But you know our legislature is not going to do anything, so it's really up to the citizens.
Wow. Well, so what kind of support have you had for the Reducing Crime and Keeping California Safe Act?
As usual, a lot of the law enforcement unions have really stepped up. They're giving their members dues money to try to fix laws that are hurting the public. And that is pretty typical of them. That's the money they're supposed to use to, allegedly help their members get raises, and they're using it to protect public safety. But also there is some support by California retailers who have been really adversely affected by the Prop 47 changes that reduced all these crimes to misdemeanors, even for repeat theft offenders.
The retailers have been affected?
Oh, absolutely. You can walk into Best Buy every single day of the week, walk out with a big screen TV. All you're going to get is a traffic citation, even if you do it 5 times in a row, 10 times in a row, 20 times in a row. It will always be a misdemeanor. You're going to get a notice to appear in court. You're going to get a misdemeanor conviction. And the jails are too full housing AB 109 felony convicted offenders that got shifted there from state prison to have any room left to house misdemeanor offenders. So a misdemeanor offender sentenced on a 180-day sentence right now, assuming you were going to get a 180-day sentence, will walk in and out of jail the same day.
Wow. But if I did it, I'm going to be there for a while.
Well, even you wouldn't be there for a while.
Oh, good news then. Good. I got my afternoon planned out.
Striker with a prior murder conviction, and a theft is still going to, if it's under $950, there's almost no punishment now.
Well, I'm on the Best Buy website right now checking out which of the TVs falls under that limit. All right, Michele, thank you once again for your time. Again, we're going to throw a link up to the quick blog post that you wrote about We Told You So and Now Has a Court. Just the same, frustration, bang your head against the wall when it comes to Prop 47, 57, and AB 109.
Well, we're going to stop banging our heads against the wall, and we're going to fix this. So people should sign this ballot initiative and contribute if they're able.
Absolutely. Michele, thank you.
My pleasure.
Michele Hanisee there again, Association of Deputy District Attorneys. She's the president. And again, the Reducing Crime and Keeping California Safe Act, you can find the information about petitions, about where to sign a petition, maybe about donating so that you can get petitions signed. KeepCaliforniaSafe.org.